We are solving number 2 on page 847. It says, make a line plot of the measurements in each table, then find the fair share. So here's my line plot. So I got these numbers from right here, my table. So 1/4, I'm going to count how many 1/4s there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put 4 X's above 1/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1/3. There's 1, 2, 3, 3 1/3. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3. There is 1, 2, 3 1/2. So I'm going to put 3, 1, 2, 3 1/2. And there is 1, 2 1/4. 1, 2. So that's where I got all my numbers from. Then I need to add all these fractions together. So I have to have 1/4, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, 1/3, 1, 2, 3 times, 1/2, 3 times, 3/4, 2 times. So I automatically know that my fractions don't have the same denominator, so I need to find common denominators. So I have a 4 as a denominator, I have a 3 as a denominator, and I have a 2 as a denominator. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. I'm going to stop there. Hopefully that's far enough. 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Gonna stop there. Hopefully that's enough. 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, so now I'm going to look and see what 3 numbers, 4, 3, and 2, 2, 3, and 4, what numbers they have in common. All of them have in common. So they do not all have a 2 in common. They do not all have a 4 in common. They do not all have a 6 in common. They do not all have an 8 in common. They do not all have a 10 in common. But they do all have a 12 in common. Awesome. So my denominator for all those fractions needs to be 12. So let's start with 1/4. 1/4. I need to multiply 1/4 by 3 to make it have a denominator of 12. So whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So all my 1/4s are now going to be 3/12. 1/3. Okay, I need to multiply my 1/3 by 4 so that I get the denominator of 12. So whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do to the top. Sorry, that should be a 4, not a 2. So all my 1/3s are now 4/12. Okay, my next number, 1/2. I need to multiply my 1/2 by 6 to get to 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do to the top. So all my 1/2s are now 6/12. My last one, 3/4. I need to multiply this by 3 to get to 12. So I multiply this by 3 to get to 9. All my 3/4 are now 9/12. So I have 9/12, that was my 3/4. I have 3/12, that was my 1/4. I have 4/12, that was my 1/3, and I have 6/12, that was my 1/2. So now I need to add all these together. So I'm going to start with my 1/4. I have 4 1/4. My 1/4 is now 3/12. So I need to write 4 3/12. Okay, and since they all have the same denominator, I'm going to go ahead and add that together already, which equals 12/12. Okay, so this was my 1/4, and I added 4 of them together because I had 4 over here. Next, I'm going to add my 1/3. My 1/3 is now 4/12. I had 3 4/12. So I'm going to add all of these together, which equals 12/12. Okay. Next I have 1/2. I have 3 1/2. My 1/2 are now 6/12. 6/12 plus 6/12 equals 12/12. Okay. Last, finally, I have my 3/4 2 times. Oh, did I not? Oh, I need to add one more 6/12. Sorry. Let me fix that. Okay, so I had 3 of these because I had 3 of them right here. So I have 18/12. Next, I have 3/4. I have 2 of them. My 3/4 is now 9/12. So 9/12 plus 9/12 equals 18/12. Okay, so I have 12/12, 12/12, 18/12, and 18/12. So now I'm going to add all my numerators together. I'm going to add all these numerators together. So 12, 12, 18, 18. Okay? So 8, 16, 18, 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 60/12 because my denominator stays the same. So now I'm going to find a little, oh, I have a little bit of room over here. 12 divided by 6. 12 can divide into 60 5 times. 5 times 12 is 60. So this is my numerator. And my denominator is 12, stays the same. This is a 5, that's just a bad 5. A lot of work. If you get confused, ask your teacher for help, and your teacher will definitely help you with that. So we'll quickly go over how I got this answer. So first I made my line plot. I counted how many 1/4 I had. I counted how many 1/3 I had. I counted how many 1/2 I had. And I counted how many 3/4 I had. I noticed that they all had different denominators. So since they have different denominators, I need to find a common denominator, a small common denominator, least common denominator, I should say, so that I can add these all together. So I put my 4, 3, and 2 because that's what I had. I had 4, 3, and 2. I put those over here. I skip counted. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Those are my multiples. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Then I saw what all 3 of these numbers have in common. The smallest number that they all 3 have in common is 12. So then I needed to make my 1/4 have a denominator of 12. I needed to multiply 4 times 3 to get to 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do the exact same thing to the top. The same thing for my 1/3. I needed my 1/3 to have a denominator of 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do the same thing to the top, and I got 4/12. My 1/2. I needed to multiply this one by 6 to get to 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. Now my new fraction is 6/12. And finally, for 3/4, I multiplied the bottom by 3 to get to 12. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. Okay? Then I went over here and I started with my 1/4. My 1/4 is now 3/12. I had 4 1/4s. So I added 3/12 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and got 12/12. Next was 1/3. I had 3 1/3s. My 1/3 is now 4/12. So I added 4/12 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got 12/12. Then I had 1/2. Where's 1/2? There we go. Then I had 1/2. I had 3 1/2s. My 1/2 is now 2/6. So I added, 6/12 if I could count. 6/12. So I added 6/12, 1, 2, 3 times to get 18/12. Finally, my last fraction was 3/4. I had 2 3/4. 3/4 is now 9/12. I added 9/12 twice to get 18/12. Then I took all of my numerators, my top numbers, and I added them all together. So these are all of my numerators, and I got the answer of 60/12 because my denominator stays the same. 60/12 is an improper fraction. So I went over here and I saw how many times could 12 divide into 60. 12 can divide into 60 5 times. 5 times 12 is 60. 60 minus 60 is 0. My denominator stays the same the whole time. So my numerator is 5/12. So this means 5/12 lengths, yarn, length in feet. That's what we found out, yarn length in feet. If you get stuck, ask your teacher for help and they will help you. Thank you.